So, episode 117 of Dragon Ball Super. Now, this episode, if you follow my spoilers and whatnot, then you know that this was going to be supposedly another controversial episode. Now, honestly, I felt as though the structure of this episode with the power scaling, because we don't necessarily know where Ribrianne is and, you know, those fighters in comparison to somebody like 18 and stuff, you can't really go into that territory with this episode per se, because again, we don't know if Ribrianne ranks at a Super Saiyan or a Super Saiyan 3 or where is her power scaling or whatever. So with her fight with 18, and then of course 17 was fighting Rosie, I think it's Rosie or something like that, like you can't really gauge where they're exactly at. But honestly, you know, I gotta keep it real with you guys. I don't make these videos just as like, hey, is this what you want to hear? I'm gonna tell it to you. You know, I speak my opinion, and you know, we try for the best of us to respectfully, you know, dive in and discuss the episode. And honestly, with this episode, I wasn't feeling it. I gotta give props to 18, if you wasn't with Kuririn, Krillin, and I didn't respect your relationship so much, girl, I'll be looking at you next, because the true MVP of the Tournament of Power, Android 18, baby girl, like, she got rid of her. Thank goodness. Honestly though, a bunch of the episode of them hyping her up again, of her being this big, oh, she looked like a lunch lady. You know how the lunch ladies usually have these giant ass jugs and shit like that? That's what I felt. Ribrianne became a fairy lunch lady with big jugs or whatever, and I was like, oh no, we gotta stop this ASAP. And the Bay, Android 18, came through for us, and I like again that they pushed certain elements. I still wish Krillin was a part of the Tournament of Power. I wish he didn't get, you know, eliminated so soon or whatever, because I really like their bond, and this is probably, in Dragon Ball is in a series, especially, you know, once we got to Z, it is in a series per se regarding romance and relationships and whatnot. Never really dives too heavy into that. I mean, for crying out loud, Goku didn't even know how the fuck he created Gohan and Goten, you know what I'm saying? It was just kind of like, one day Chi-Chi has some rope, and she was like, yo, Saiyan ass is about to get it. So, with that being said, I do appreciate and I do really enjoy and think it feels more thorough and genuine than most of the other relationships with 18 and Krillin. I love 18 and Krillin's relationship, and it shows in this episode yet again that she really does love him. You know what I'm saying? When Ribrianne was trying to cut ass on my homie, I was like, bitch, hold up. You trying to talk about the little bald short motherfucker over there, right? With no nose and shit. But look at you, bro. You kidding me? And your max power, you looking like, I don't even know, like some Teletubbies that ate too many cookies. You feel me? Like, who the fuck? Like, I was like, yo, ain't that the pot calling the kettle black when you calling cooted and like, yo, So I wasn't, you know what I'm saying? Then we had a lot of Ribrianne blowing up and all that shit. It was, I guess, I want to call it Golden Ribrianne, which, what are you doing? Dragon Ball Super is too much with the, what you call it, fan service, so to speak. It's like, then again though, is that really fan service? Who the fuck was like, Toei, pretend this is a door, Toei. Yeah, now it sounds like we're fapping on the door. Oh, Toei, no, Toei. We're desperately in need. We're here right now, we're ripping at our freaking clothing because we want Golden Ribrianne. Who said that? Who called Toei Animation or said, yo, Toriyama, yo, the kid, I feel you, bro. You know what I'm saying? You got, we need that Golden Ribrianne, fam. Like, you gotta do it. Nah, you gotta do it. I'm even gonna hit up Toyotaro. I'm like, yo, Toyotaro-san, you know what I'm saying? You gotta, like, who? I know I went on way too long with that little, pathetic attempt at comedy, that little thing that I just did there. What was that? What the hell was I thinking, right? No. But really, I've never seen a Ribrianne fan. I can't really say, other than some people say like, hey, it's not so bad or whatever. I've never seen somebody like that hardcore that would want something like that. So a lot of the Ribrianne scenes, I'm sick of her. Maybe at one point I might have accepted it as like, again, homage and homage to the, you know, Sailor Moon genre, the magical girl genre. I would have accepted it at some given point if it was just like that, but it continued way too long. Shout out to 18 again for getting the job done. But Ribrianne, like, why? So that was the part of the episode. I wasn't really feeling, honestly, there's another thing I really wasn't feeling about this episode, making it seem as though 18 was a damsel in distress with her ankle that was like busted up and shit like that. Like, this is an almighty android that was on a power level that when Trunks came from the future, this 18, not the 18 and 17 from the history of Trunks, those ones were way weaker. This one, like, you know, she bopped the Super Saiyan and she beat up Vegeta like nothing. How are you having ankle problems, bro? Like, I wasn't feeling that. I felt as though it was putting that, like, not stereotype, I don't know, what is a stereotype, that word against, like, oh, woman, you know, the damsel. And she's like, 18 is a badass chick. She is not one to be, oh, I need saving, brother. Like, what are you doing to me right now, Toei? So I wasn't feeling that either. I was kind of like, whoa. And then Vegeta. Oh, shit. Vegeta, we're talking about Vegeta now? Yeah, let's talk about good old the Prince of all Saiyans. I was like, bro, what's going on here? When he was trying, essentially, from what Whis described, to emulate Goku's movements in order to achieve Ultra Instinct. And I'm like, okay, what did he think he was emulating? He was just literally laying there against the boulder and having that papaya man looking motherfucker just pound into his face. Did he think that Ultra Instinct is just your body moves on its own on some magic, bro? Like, oh no. I was glad at the end he said, yo, screw this shit. I can't do this no more, Papa, and just started beating the dog turds out of him. But damn, Vegeta, you took an ass whipping trying to emulate Goku. No bueno. I mean, thankfully it wasn't a long drawn out thing. I thought this was going to be like a really big, climactic, horribly climactic entry into, you know, Vegeta's stuff during the Tournament of Power, whatever. But thankfully it wasn't that long, and then he eventually just had enough and beat the crap out of that dude. So that was good stuff there. Aside from that, some more of weakened Goku trying to survive. Yet again, it seems as though they're kind of regurgitating in a way, or reusing this whole angle of Goku needs to get his stamina back up. Wasn't that the whole thing leading into the Kel and Caulifla fight, and, you know, Kefla and all that shit? Wasn't he trying to get his stamina? So he must have burnt it all out completely going into Ultra Instinct, which kind of reminds me in a way, and it's kind of cool when they do this stuff. It reminds me of Gear 4th, if you think about it, because Gear 4th, after a certain point, you're completely drained, and I think to get your hockey back you need like 10 minutes or so, which I'm sure Dragon Ball fans like don't know what the hell hockey is, but it's like anyway, it's One Piece related. I'm not gonna start breaking down One Piece stuff, but it does kind of remind me of that. If you think about Ultra Instinct, and it's kind of like the same color palette in a way, you know, Goku with his just regular black hair and shit like that, and then afterwards he needs time to regain his stamina. So cool stuff there. Obviously Dragon Ball, if I'm not mistaken, did it first technically, with Goku trying to get his stamina back for the Super Saiyan 3 fight that he was trying to have against one of the Boos or whatever. So it's not like I'm trying to say that copied, or even that, you know, One Piece copied or anything like that, because it does its own thing. Just really cool to see something like that. Honestly, the episode as a whole though really didn't cut the mustard for me. I really wasn't feeling a good portion of it. Again, shout out to 18. That was probably the best thing, is the fact that they got out of this. So in essence, the outcome was like, glory, glory, hallelujah, hallelujah, Ribrianne is out, the Tournament of Power. Yeah, so good stuff in that regard, but the means to the end is what I was kind of like. Damsel in Distress 18, Ribrianne Golden blowing up, looking like foul lunch lady, like, haha. No, bueno, mijo, no te puedo decir que no estaba muy bien este capítulo. Yeah, it's not a chapter, whatever. Anyway, let me know what you guys thought about this episode, though. How did you feel about we finally, after one more episode, we had to have 117, got rid of Ribrianne and Rosie, or whatever. Rosie wasn't really that big of an annoyance, but Ribrianne, we finally got rid of her. Are you excited? Are you disappointed? You're just like, no, Ribrianne is better than the Super Saiyan transformation. Please, bring back Ribrianne. If you are, you need a little bit of help, mate. And your real thoughts of the episode. What do you think about Vegeta trying to emulate Ultra Instinct and getting pulverized into a boulder? And a couple of other extra things going around in the episode. Tournament of Power. It was like critically. This episode critically, you can't really necessarily say it was like a bad one, because power scaling was kind of fine. It was all around okay. You know, they use a typical friendship love shit with Krillin and 18, but just on a standpoint of like, nobody really want to see Ribrianne screen time, you know what I'm saying? And making a badass chick like 18 all of a sudden a damsel in distress. I don't think anybody really want to see that. And again, your real thoughts of the episode, yay or nay on the end of Ribrianne leading into next week's episode. Maybe I'll talk about the preview. I don't know. I've seen a couple of seconds of the preview. It didn't really look all that crazy. Oh, I forgot to mention too, more of the Namekians against Gohan and Piccolo. That was a small good thing to the episode, because I want to see more of them, and I think next week we are going to focus on them. So, cool shit there. Again, wanted to try and make sure I think I covered everything of the episode. Your overall thoughts? Ribrianne is gone! Yay! But that's all I have for this one. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. If you liked anything I had to say or enjoyed the video, drop me a like! I'd greatly appreciate it. And if you want more from me, make sure to subscribe. Follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and do a little bit of stalking on my Facebook to get more when the video ends. I'm ForneverWorld. As always, people, have an awesome day. And remember, you gotta remember the golden rule. Remember, anime and manga for life. Wow. Have an awesome day, people.